Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kim. I currently live in Japan where I do lifestyle and traveling videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for all your love and support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your post notification bell. That way you'll never miss another video. And without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So guys, I know you see the title. I know you see it. I was legit trying to be a player out here in these streets. It's like I don't know what came over me. Like, I don't know what was going on, but all I can say is I really lost it. I lost it completely. It's like, go ahead and cue the music. Cue it.
I remember when I lost my mind.
I don't lost my cotton picking mind, I'm telling y'all. So let me just jump into it, right? So I was out here. We're gonna call man number 1 A and man number 2 B. I'm not going to tell y'all what part of my life this is, alright? With with man number 1. And it's been a while, and you guys know how it is. When you're in relationships for a while, things start to get mundane. It starts to get boring, and not that he was boring, but I'm just saying that it gets mundane. You start to get into little ruts and routines, and that was what was happening. And I felt it, and I knew that was happening. So I was like, you know what? We need to go our separate ways. He wasn't feeling that. Low-key, I don't want to go nowhere. I'm comfortable here, but I kind of want to see what's out here too. So I'm like, he's like, all right, go ahead and test the waters, because I'm certain that you won't find nobody like me. That being the energy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you like that. So I'm like, all right. And I guess he also knew I wouldn't be going out there and actively looking for anybody. But I swear, and ladies, comment down below and let me know when it is that you are single, or when, you know, as a woman, at least I don't know for every woman, but I know for me personally, after I have gone through the steps of telling you how I feel, or this isn't working, or I don't like XYZ, I will emotionally leave the relationship before I physically leave. So that's just me. And I feel like whenever I get into that emotional state where I'm starting to back away from the relationship, like, everybody can smell it. Like, it's just the pheromones in the air, like, so it's just like your pheromones just start to get out there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's for everybody, but you start getting the eyes, and like, people start talking to you. I work with the public, or I worked with the public, so it would be like somebody would come into your office like, there is something different about you, and you're like, yeah, there's something. What's going on? Men can normally pick up on it. I feel that's my experiences. I don't know if it's the way you start walk with your stank walk again. I don't know, because I didn't feel like I was ever doing anything extra, but males were always able to pick up on it. So I also broke my code. So I was at work, right? And I saw this man that I've never seen. Man number B.
Bruh. Man number B.
So I'm in my office. He walks by the door and he looks in at me, and I can tell. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to go test it to see what it is. I'm like, maybe I didn't read that right. You know how men sometimes give you the eye? I can't do the eye, but they're like, the eye? I don't know. I can't do the eye, but they give you the eye. So I thought he gave me the eye, but I wasn't 100% sure. So then I kind of like walked by him to see if he would look, and like if I could pick up any vibes, and he definitely looked, and I was like, whoop, that's my catch. That's player number B. So that's how I met player number B. We talked and whatever, and it took a while. You know, I'm trying to study player number B, and player number B is like, why keep on calling them player? Man number B, player, whatever. It's all the same, guys. So he kind of like coming around, and I'm like, all right, I got this. I sound like a horrible person, don't I? It's alright. I'm no longer that person. I have changed, okay? I didn't want to leave number 1 because that was a good man. It was good. And here was number 2, and you know, things that are new, they're exciting. It's you know, it's new to you, so it's exciting. You want to just be with it all the time, like a new toy, you know, like a new toy syndrome kind of thing. So that's what it was. I finally told player number 1, I'm like, listen, I found somebody, so this right here, we're gonna have to cool off that, because I don't know, I find somebody and I don't want any complications. He's like, okay, cool. So to cover my bases, I kind of told player 2 about player 1. But I had to, because one of the days when I don't know player 2, right? Remember, I just met him. And one day, player 1 came over my house. And I'm like, I gotta go. So he's like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, I gotta meet some clients. It's for business, blah, blah, blah. It truly was business at that point. So he knows I'm not from that area. So he normally is like my little protector, you know. He's just like, I bet where you going, who you gonna be with, XYZ. So like a dummy, I told him, knowing I was going to be over there with player number B. Player number B ain't from the area. Player number 1 not from the area. I don't mess with people in my area. So, yeah, just to get that straight. I'm over there. So he's calling. He's like, you've been gone too long. I guess it's been, I was just over there like running my mouth and stuff. So I was gone for a long time. Like I said, it's in that area where I'm getting to know him. So you know you want to get all the little details in. And I can talk, guys. I can talk. So your girl was just talking. And I feel like I'm this kind of person. Like if it is, when I meet you, we either vibe, like we know each other for years, or there's like nothing there is like crickets, okay? It either goes one or two ways for me. There's no middle ground where it's like, it's a possibility that something can develop. Nah, it's either dead or it's like buzzing off the ground. Buzzing off the ground, buzzing in the air, buzzing, like, you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I wasn't picking up because I was enjoying players 2 company. But I forgot that player 1 was kind of crazy. So, and I told him where I was at. So he bust up in that place where I was with player number 2, and he driving around the corner. All I'm seeing is his car coming, and I'm like, oh crap, because by this player number 2 is in my car, and I'm like, oh crap, you need to come out. He's like, what? What you mean I need to come out? I'm like, you need to go. So I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and he's like, who is that? Who's that driving in here like that? Like, who is that? And I'm like, you got to go. So he's like, I ain't coming out of the car. I don't know what this man got. I'm not coming out of this car. Drive. So then here, me and player number 2 is in the car, and player number 1 is chasing us by this time. Just so we're driving around, just chasing each other. So I finally got the chance to, I got into this area, and player number 2 jumped out the car, and I came out of the housing development and whatnot. So then player number 1 starts driving me down, and I swear to God, he's going to like rear end me or something, because he knows that there was somebody else in the car. Because the first time he drove by the car to check out the surroundings, because I wasn't in his driveway, so parked out on the street. So he drove right by the car and looked in the car. We weren't doing anything. Like I said, we were just getting to know each other. So he looked right in there and saw what was up. And then he started chasing us. So I was like, yeah. So, of course, I went home and I had to tell player number 1, well, you said I could do whatever. And I'm really like this guy. He's like, all right, that's what you want to do. This is you know how guys get. They say one thing, but I mean it. I know that you was going to. If you said it, that's what I'm going to take it as. So had to explain to player number 2 as well. So I'm like, player number 2, he's like, who is that? What is going on? That is the ex. And we decided that we're going on a break and I'm going to test the waters. And I guess I wasn't answering his calls because he knew my phone was ringing and I kept on sending it to voicemail and whatnot. He's like, oh, that's the guy that was calling. I was like, yeah, XYZ. So he was cool with it, which was the truth. It was the truth. So we continued talking and whatever. I'm like, player number 1, you can't be popping up on me any kind of time now, because I'm really feeling player number 2. So me and player number 2 keep on talking, but I'm still kind of talking to player number 1, you know, because again, we have that long history and we know each other. Come around, he'll pop over, we'll go to dinner, I'll cook for him, he'll cook for me, like, oh, you need anything from the grocery store, I got you, like, you know, we're communicating like that. But player number 2 did not like that setup. He didn't like that at all. So I had to like keep it under wraps. He didn't like that situation, so I had to hide that part from him. So I wouldn't let him like come over my house to sleep over or anything like that, because I knew player one might pop up, or he'll still like drive by to see if I was okay or whatnot. So I didn't want that issue. So I didn't have that done. So anyways, we're going. But guys, then it is that there was one time player two and I, because he never really trusted me. He didn't like the fact that he couldn't sleep over when he wanted to. He couldn't pop up on me. He didn't like those things. So he kind of get like skeptical. And he's like, I don't know. I just don't feel like you're mine. And this guy has more control and XYZ. And I'm just like, it is what it is. Because remember, I'm just getting to know this one. Player number one is, I know this person for years. And so we kind of like on and off, hot and cold. But I'm happy. I'm one of those girls that I've never had a F-boy. Like, never. I've never encountered that. I've always encountered gentlemen. I've always encountered, like, good men. And I felt bad at one time, because so it was during a holiday, and player two, he was on and off. Like I tell you, I'll do things because I wanted to be a little player. Like, I was just like, player two was kind of like, I'm ready to go all the way in. If you tell me that this is what it is, I'm gonna just go all the way in. Let's go ahead and make it official in XYZ. And I'm like, hold up, pump the brakes. I don't want to be your girlfriend. And that was a big red flag for him. He's like, why wouldn't you want to commit to me? And I'm just like, well, I'm always in long-term relationships. I go in and I say hi to the person, and the next thing you know, I'm meeting their mother, their grandmother, their auntie, everybody. I don't know why. And I saw that pattern happening over again. I was talking to his family members, I was meeting people, I was doing all these things, and I was like, I don't want to get caught up into this. No, I don't want to like throw my vagina around, and I wasn't doing that. But I wanted to date. I wanted to experience other people. But it just happened that the first person that I decided to get to know just happened to be a freaking nice guy. And I feel like that always happens. So I was like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I just want to take it slow. He was like, I bet. You know, his little ego is hurt at this point, because, you know, man, when they say stuff like that, and when they're serious, you need to, and you're not serious as the woman, it kind of get tricky. So he was like, all right, you playing games, because the only reason I can think of why you don't want to come in is because of player number one. I'm like, no, this is for me. This is something that I have to do, and this is a learning process for me. I'm just trying to get to know people. And he wasn't understanding that. Even though I wasn't dating anybody else, I was truly just dating him, and player number one would come over as my friend, and we'll catch up and have lunch or whatever, but we weren't doing anything, you know what I'm saying? So, but that was hard for him, especially saying no to being with him. So then it would be hot and cold, because he would try to essentially hurt me. But you can't hurt somebody who is not truly invested in you. And I think that's where he messed up. Like, I'm female on the exterior, but I swear to everything that my insides might be just male. I am my father's child. And if y'all know my father, oh my God. So he did nothing to me. It meant nothing to me. Like, you could do whatever you want. It is what it is. Cool. So he was playing hot and cold with me. So, you know, a holiday came up and I was out. I went out with player number one. And it just happened that day I left my phone. So I left my phone at home, and he was calling. Well, he's calling, and I'm not answering because my phone is not on me. I saw him. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, snap. He's here, and I know he's upset with me, and I know if he sees me with this person, it's going to be an issue. I didn't know that he saw me until I got home, and I saw the messages, blocked me and everything, guys. So here I am. What they say, one bird in hand is better than two in the bushes. Yeah, so I learned that real quick, because I was walking, and then you know what made it worse? Player number one did not know what was happening, but he knew my mood changed. He knew that something was off, and then I started to whisper to my girls that were with me. I'm like, look who is here. It was a hot mess, guys. So the moral of the story is one bird in hand is better than two birds in the bushes. Don't be like me, because this was not good. And until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your post notification bell. That way you'll never miss another video. You hear my voice cracking now? Ooh. Alright, I'll see y'all. Bye.